We'd like to say a big thank you to Control for allowing us to play our music at just the right volume, and for letting us know when to get up in the mornings. You're even there to help us mow satisfying stripes on our lawn. You've always been there for us, no matter what. So we've decided to pay you a tribute, give you something to show our appreciation, something that says, Control, here's to you. We call it Legend.
Now I'm gonna have my first ride in this car. Just been having a little lesson on all these buttons, which all sounded pretty cool to me. Now we're gonna get a little taste for the SH-AWD system. I've seen it in pictures before, but it's the first time I actually drove one. I loved it, you know. I mean, the whole experience, I guess it starts even before you turn the engine on. You know, you shut the doors and the windows are up and you just feel isolated. You know how you drive some cars on the road and you get this road noise and wind noise and everything. This thing here is simply not the case. It's just so smooth. It's very noticeable, and you turn the engine on and you can hardly hear it. The car is very smooth when you get on the power. You know how you get on the power, sometimes the cars tend to jerk forward and stuff like that. This car doesn't really do that. It's just smooth, effortless progression. Actually, shall I go manual now? Yeah, let's go manual. More fun. See here now, full throttle, and the car just drives out. It's really easy to drive. The super handling all-wheel drive system is quite interesting, actually. Most road cars I ever driven on the racetrack, they really tend to understeer a lot. You know, especially when you start to get on the power mid corner and in the exit of corners, they tend to get quite a bit of understeer. Especially more so perhaps the front wheel drive cars. This corner is fun. Sort of jump and go over here. Very neutral, the car, very nice. The Legend has got enough power and it's fast enough that it's not boring, you know. I mean, when you squeeze the loud pedal there, it goes. It's not a sports car, so which is fine, you know. I mean, not every car has to be a sports car, you know. I quite appreciate the fact that it's quite comfortable. I speak from experience, you know, having raced for many years. Always what you want is a neutral car. You don't want too much understeer. You don't want to get scared with oversteer. You want a neutral car, and the super handling all-wheel drive system really helps on that count.
The objective of Legend was to build an absolutely outstanding luxury car that would be the flagship of the Honda range. One of the key features of Legend is the super handling all-wheel drive, and that's what will set it apart from its competitors.
And the easiest way to probably understand the benefit of SH-AWD is if you imagine a paper cup. If you roll a paper cup, which obviously has a wider diameter on one side than the other, it tends to roll in a circle. And that's what you're trying to do with SH-AWD, is by increasing the speed of the wheel to go round the bend. The big advantage is when you, if you imagine if it's an icy conditions or snowing or very wet, is when you turn a corner pretty fast. That's the big advantage of SH-AWD from a safety point, that you can take the bend safely.
With a normal car, you've obviously got drive just to two wheels. With super handling all-wheel drive, it's applying power to each of the four wheels where they need the most grip. So the car has far more balance and won't understeer or oversteer in the way a conventional two-wheel drive car does.
The feeling in the SH-AWD when you go into a bend is quite unique, that you will actually see on the dashboard the amount of torque or speed going into each wheel. And as you go into a bend pretty quick, you will feel the car just literally, something's like pulling you, like tugging you around, almost like you're on rails. The Honda Legend is also fitted with ALCAS system, and ALCAS is a lane keeping assist system, and it uses a camera mounted behind the rear view mirror which looks at the road markings, and the idea is to keep the car in the center of the road by recognizing the left and right lanes. If, for example, you are veering off the road or center of the lane, you will get an audible and a visual warning on the dashboard to say, look, the car is veering to the left, but it will try and automatically keep you into the center of the lane by turning the electronic power steering system which is fitted to the car. But it will also recognize if you do let go of the steering wheel within about 10 seconds that you're not holding the steering wheel. So what we don't want to do is actually portray that the car can drive itself so you can let go of the steering wheel. So the driver is the key factor in the car, who is always in control. The adaptive cruise control uses a radar on the car which is mounted behind the H badge on the grille, and the radar can scan a car up to 100 meters. So if you set your cruise control at 70 miles per hour and suddenly another car gets in front of you, the system will automatically use the brakes to slow the car down and keep the distance what you have set between you and the car ahead. And then if that target or the car moves out the way, the car will automatically accelerate to the set speed.
CMBS としてはですね、交通事故の中では
There is also a collision mitigation braking system,
事故の割合が多い
which was specially developed to reduce the amount of accidents
その事故の原因というの
and
は
collisions caused by cars following other cars.
いわゆる不注視
There is a very large percentage of accidents caused by this kind of collision,
ものですから、
and this is often the result of the driver not paying enough attention.
そういったところに観点を置いて開発をしてきました。
So what we are trying to work on in developing this system is not just to have a system that applies the brakes for the driver,
その手前で
but also to give the driver a warning in advance so that he becomes aware of a dangerous situation.
開発してきています。
So the system uses the same radar which is fitted to the car for the adaptive cruise control, and what it will do is actually give you a visual and an audible warning on the dashboard to say that you're getting too close to a car, and a brake symbol will appear on the car for you to start braking. And if you don't do anything, you'll get to the second stage where the car provides automatic braking but light, gentle braking, and the seat belts fitted to the car will actually start to tug. And then when you get to the third stage of collision mitigation, is that the car or the system applies full anti-lock brakes. Now obviously at that stage you will hit the car ahead of you, but the impact will be reduced because obviously the car has actually started to brake. The Honda Legend is also fitted with the VSA, which is Vehicle Stability Assist. And if you imagine you're driving on a motorway and you suddenly have to swerve, say for example a car or something has come in front of you very quickly and you swerve out the way, what tends to happen is you turn the steering wheel to the left or right, and the car starts to sway, so the back end starts to sway. With vehicle stability assist, what it actually does is it automatically applies the brakes onto the car to control the actual swaying of the car. So you can go back to a stability, so straight control, much quicker, without actually doing anything.
Now, if gadgets and gizmos are your thing, the technology in this car doesn't disappoint. If we just start with the seats, now they're heated, which you'd expect from this kind of car, but actually the driver and passenger seats have 3 fans in them, so you can actually cool your derriere as well, which is quite impressive. Actually, in terms of the driving position, we can set 2 different seating positions, which not only changes the seat height and adjust, but also the steering wheel. That's for the his, if you like, and then also you've got a hers. If I put this car into reverse, first thing that happens is the sun visor at the back drops down. I can see from a camera in the boot where I'm headed. My driver side mirror has actually dropped down so I can see the curb, and if the kids have got out the car without dropping down their headrests at the back and I want optimum visibility, I just press a button. This is the center console, and within this we have 3 zones: a climate zone, an audio zone, and a satellite navigation zone, all of which can be operated by voice activation.
The climate control system has a GPS function to calculate the position of the sun. So, for example, if the sun is shining into the car on the right-hand side, the right side of the car will get hotter. So the climate control system adjusts the temperature on the right side only, so that the temperature is perfect on the right side and the left side at all times.
In terms of the audio controls, Legend features active noise suppression, and I'll just explain how that works. With a normal car or a normal luxury car, there are systems just to increase the volume to try and compensate for the road noise. With this car, there are 2 microphones in the vehicle that pick up the frequency of the road noise, and as that increases, it emits a reverse frequency to cancel out that sound.
The design brief for the interior was to create an advanced and relaxed environment in which to operate all the different functions. For example, the very easily visible satellite navigation system, the multi-jog dial, and steering wheel system for managing a number of functions.
I can change gear, I can change volume, I can change channel, I can change from CD to radio, I can make a phone call, I can tell the satellite navigation or the climate control what to do, I can set the LCAS, I can set the ACC, I can set my speed, and I can get information from the computer without my hands ever leaving the steering wheel. At the end of the day, all of this technology is housed in something really quite sumptuous. When you sit in, you feel cosseted, you feel that you're in something that's very, very premium, high quality, it's well stitched together, it's well screwed together, and at the same time it's very ergonomic. So you get that perfect blend of technology and refinement.
The engine in the car is a 3.5-litre VTEC V6 engine with 24 valves. It delivers 291 brake horsepower at 6,200 RPM. The transmission system has 2 modes: full automatic and also manual. We call it an S-matic system. The Legend will do 0 to 60 in around 7 seconds and has a maximum speed of 155 miles per hour. Because the engine is all aluminium, the power-to-weight ratio is very impressive. We even used magnesium cylinder head covers and took other weight-reducing measures throughout the car to make sure that the Legend has exceptional performance.